So I previously reported how there was a T.I. concert in New York City, and a big shootout happened. And even though T.I.'s name was basically part of the headlines, apparently your boy Troy Ave, was the one doing the actual shooting at the concert. And they're trying to get him with some, like, attempted murder charges or whatever, potentially. And there's also been reports saying that he shot himself in the leg. What? Anyways, so let me go ahead and read to you these two news stories from TMZ. But before I read these two quick news stories for you, if you want to see the actual video footage of, like, Troy Ave, shooting the gun off and stuff like that, and some other footage from the concert, just click the link below in the description box. It'll take you to my blog. There's 3 videos currently posted there. I may update the blog with new video footage or information as things come in, or I might just come up with a new blog and then just post the link to the newest information, because there's an ongoing investigation. They have to do ballistics and whatnot to see whether or not the guy who got shot in the stomach and died, whether or not Troy Ave was the one who killed him and whatnot. So anyways, this is a terrible story. Let me go ahead and read the first one to you. TMZ writes, and I quote, "TMZ has obtained video from backstage at T.I.'s New York City concert just as the shots were fired, and it reveals the total chaos and panic in a small confined area. The video starts with some guys pushing and shoving backstage, and then you hear the gunfire start. Watch the video. It seems like not everyone immediately realized the danger because some people were standing around. That changed quickly as more shots were fired and everyone tried to squeeze through the exit. Police have not made any arrests yet, but they've seen several videos like this one and say it's helping them close in on the suspect." Well, here's the second story. They closed in on the suspect, all right, and it was your boy Troy Ave. Now, they titled this article, "T.I. concert shooting, NYPD video shows Troy Ave firing handgun." Now, they did update the story briefly, but what they wrote at first was, "NYPD released video they say shows rapper Troy Ave, who's now been arrested, opening fire Wednesday night during the New York City concert T.I. was headlining. The surveillance video shows the man stumbling into a room, pointing his handgun and firing at least once into the crowd. Troy was hit in the leg during the shootout and appears to be bloodied in the video. Police arrested him at the hospital where he was getting treatment. He's been booked for reckless endangerment, criminal possession of a weapon, and menacing. As for why there's no attempted murder charge, we're told the investigation is ongoing and more charges could be coming. 3 people were injured and 1 killed in the incident. The fatality was Troy's bodyguard, Ronald McFadder." Then they updated the story by saying, "Cops have added an attempted murder charge and another count of criminal possession. We're told ballistic testing is ongoing, and depending on results, he could also get a murder charge." Yes. Thank you, TMZ, for the information. That was the 2 news stories. Like I said, the video footage is on the blog. You can clearly see him walking up in the room with the handgun. And yeah, he fired at least 1 shot on video. They caught him. There's no denying it, because they have the video footage. So I don't really know what he could say, even though, as some people suggested, he needs to make sure he gets himself a good lawyer and whatnot. But I really don't think that, having a good lawyer is going to help this particular situation. What I think is interesting, though, is that on the video footage, when he walks into the room, when he aims and fires the gun, he then points it down, like down to the floor. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know if he was doing that for safety reasons so that he doesn't accidentally shoot the wrong person. I'm not perfectly sure why he would aim the gun and then aim at the ground. I don't know where he was taught to operate a firearm that way, but that delayed reaction of somebody shooting at you, then by the time you raise your gun, it's just like how they tell you when you're a martial artist or a boxer to keep your hands up, to guard yourself. You don't drop your guard, because then your opponent can strike you. So I don't know what the hell he was thinking by lowering the gun towards the ground. But whatever, that's just a whole nother discussion here. But the other thing that I wanted to point out was this. They didn't mention this, but for what I heard, allegedly Mano and Uncle Murder were the people that, Troy Ave's people got into, an altercation with backstage that led up to Troy Ave's bodyguard being shot. And from what I heard, Troy Ave may have shot his own damn bodyguard, which is pretty freaking goofy if that did happen, which is funny because Troy Ave spent all of that time calling other rappers weirdos, but yet you're caught on video shooting a gun, they say, into a crowd, and they're saying that you shot yourself in the leg. I'm not saying that that's true, but if it is true that you shot yourself in the leg, and if you were shooting into a crowd as opposed to trying to, it's bad if you took it outside to try to make sure that you hit the quote right person. I'm not condoning violence here at all, but when you shoot recklessly into a crowd of people, that's some weirdo shit, Troy Ave. Excuse my language, but that's pretty freaking, because usually when people use the word weird, they're not using it by the dictionary's definition of different. They mean it in a negative way. I would say it's pretty weird to be shooting into a damn crowd. That's just so beyond me, but whatever. I don't really want to try to grasp my mind around this whole thing. A man died, and the violence was completely avoidable. It was some old meathead type stuff, people arguing, and then they get into an unnecessary conflict. So the whole thing was just a waste of time, a waste of life, a waste of just a waste. A man dead, 3 people besides him shot, Troy Ave shot. And for the record, if you watch the 44 second video clip where the shots ring out, which is of course posted on my blog, there were 3 shots, then there was a delay, there was another shot, a delay again, another shot. So there was at least 5 shots fired. Judging by the sound of the gun, they may have all came from the same gun. The only person that we know for sure did shoot a gun that night was Troy Ave. So it's possible that everybody that got shot that night was shot by Troy Ave. Just for the record. Not sure whether or not another gun went off, but it sounded like it could have all been from the same gun. Just for the record. Anyways, man, RIP to the bodyguard who was unfortunately killed. I hope that all of the people who got shot recover fully, including Troy Ave. Because I don't wish that on him either. I don't know if he's ever going to get out of jail if he did, in fact, fire the fatal shot that hit his bodyguard. And my condolences to his family. And it's crazy because I've actually thought about maybe doing some bodyguard work for some celebrities. But I'm telling you, stuff like this and the incident that happened to Busta Rhymes' bodyguard about 10 years ago, where he got killed in the video shoot. Yeah, I think his name was Israel. Stuff like that makes me think that maybe I should never do something like that. There's been some other people's bodyguards that, were hit in these types of completely avoidable incidents as well. So anyways, RIP to the bodyguard. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter @meatmagazine. And please stop the violence.